give you my heart.
Hello guys, welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to make another beautiful painting on a very large canvas. And before I start the video, I would like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for the beautiful response on the last vlog, and thank you so much for supporting. Like my videos, comment, share with your friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And today you can see I'm going to paint on a very large canvas. The size of the canvas is 24 by 36, and I have applied this bright red color in the middle of the canvas. And before I start the video, I have something to show you guys here. This is a product called G1 Super Detox by Herbagenomic Wellness, and this product has more than 10 ingredients which aid in protection, rejuvenation, and remarkably a detoxification of the liver, blood, and the body. And this is a prominent dietary food supplement which makes your liver healthier and strong enough and enhances its performance, and it removes the toxins from your body. And I would say that this is a perfect treat for your body in case you want to improve your metabolic activity, and it boosts your immunity as well. So you should try this, and you can order this from their website herbagenomicwellness.com. Now we can start the video. As you know, the size of the canvas is 24 by 36, and the bright red color has been painted in the middle of the canvas. This is a background for our sky, and this is going to be a different video. I was not able to make the video of the painting due to the number of days that I spent painting this. It took me almost 7 to 10 days to complete this painting, and I am running short of space for such a large work, so I have decided to put the pictures only. So first of all, you have to paint the bright red color in the middle of your canvas, and the second thing that you have to do is apply some blue color on the top of your canvas. You can see in the picture the blue color is applied on the top, the red in the middle, and between the two colors, in betwixt these two, you have to use a small amount of green color, light green color, and you can make the colors light with the addition of titanium white in it. And this is how you have to paint your sky. And the very next thing that you have to do is paint that phthalo blue on the red color that you have previously applied, just to make it a little darker, because the painting is going to be about a storm scene. That's why we really need some dark things on our sky. And when you're done with this, it's time to paint the base of clouds. You can use a stencil brush for this purpose, and on the top of stencil brush you have to apply some midnight black and make those round circular strokes. You decide the place of your clouds, and there you go, making those round circular strokes and paint the base of your clouds. And after that, you have to use the same stencil brush, clean it in your odorless thinner or whatever the cleaning apparatus you are using. Then apply some titanium white, a good deal of titanium white on the stencil brush, and just repeat those round circular strokes in order to add some details and highlights into your clouds, and you get the picture like this. And now it's time to add a seashore here, and we're not going to paint the land but only add some rocks. And this is the base for a rock, and the standing vertical thing right here is the lighthouse. You have to paint the base of lighthouse and the rocks both in midnight black, and this is how you can do it. This is just the first thing that you have to do. The second thing, that is applying highlights, is going to be completed later on. And now it's time to paint the base of water. As you can see on the right side of the canvas, I have applied some phthalo blue with a small flat brush, and this is the step where you decide the shape of your ocean waves or sea waves, whatever you want to call them. And in the zoomed in version of this painting, of this picture basically, you can see that I have just moved randomly in one direction, and keeping in view the thing that the wind is blowing from the right side, I have painted the water moving towards the left side, because it will blow the water in the wind will blow the water in the opposite direction, and that is something you can crystal clearly see here. And this is how you can paint the base of your water. This is the first step in painting the water. And after this, we had to add a small ship here. It's going to be a sort of sinking ship, and this is the basic color midnight black that we have used to paint the base of the ship, and then we are going to add the highlights later on. In the zoomed in version, you can see you can paint any sort of ship, you can paint any shape of ship, uh, as you may have seen, as you may like. This is not a compulsion to paint identically. You just have to paint this, and don't worry about making the mistakes at the bottom of the ship, because the water is going to splash and those mistakes could be covered later on. And right now here you can see I have added some details on the rocks that I painted in midnight black, and I have used a lot of colors in there, like fluorescent yellow, Indian yellow, phthalo green, phthalo blue, alizarin crimson, and titanium white, yellow ochre. There are a lot of colors. You have to make them flavored kind of rocks. And on the path as well, you can see the light is falling on from the top, and the left side is very bright than the right side, because I have used a dark color on the right side of the path. This is just to show that this portion isn't receiving the light because of the rock standing in front of it, and you have to use a small flat brush for this purpose, and the stroke should be the size of the brush that you are using. The stroke should not be dragged down. And right now we are adding the water here. You can see, as I said, the wind is blowing from the right to left. That's why the heads of my waves are leaning towards the left side of the painting, as you can see in the zoomed in version of this picture. And the heads of the waves are clearly leaning towards the left side, and the ship is also a little tilted towards the left, because the wind and the light source both are on the right side of the painting. And after finishing this, you can, one thing that here you have to remember is that I have used Prussian blue here to paint the waves. And after finishing this, you have to use that old brush, old round brush I have used, because my brush was withered. I had been using that for a very long period, and I have used that brush to paint the heads of these waves. And I have loaded titanium white on the brush and just tapped very lightly, very gentle tapping upon the heads of the waves just to get this effect. You can use a small stencil brush as well, but this is your choice. It depends upon you. Don't throw away your old brushes. They are used to create this kind of things, as I have been saying this repeatedly. And now here I have to apply the second layer. I have applied the second layer with the same brush, loading a small amount of titanium white and making those small taps. And one thing that you have to remember here is that the black color of the ship will try to come out, or the waves, Prussian blue color from the waves will try to come out and create a smudge therein and mix with the white color while you are painting this. You have to make sure that it doesn't happen. Try to paint with a very gentle and light hand and create this beautiful effect. And when you are done with this, I would like to show you a glimpse of the picture of the painting here. This is how your painting is going to look like when you are finished doing this much work. And after that, we had to apply the details on our ship, and for this purpose I have used that burnt sienna just to paint those windows that you can see on the back side, and the simple brown color just to paint the body of the ship. And one thing that you have to remember is that the right side of your ship is close to light source, so the right side, the color is going to be a little lighter than the left side. And that black strip in there, I don't know what it is called. It is just put just to beautify the our ship, and the small dots of titanium white in there. And the grill that you can see has been painted with the liner brush and thin midnight black. And after that you can add a small layer of thin burnt sienna on that black color just to give it a beautiful appearance. And right now you can see the sailcloth on your screen. This was earlier painted in black color, but now I have applied white color on top of it. And again, the light thing, that the right light source is on the right side of the painting. That's why the right sides are brighter than the left sides. you can see the left sides are a little gray in color if you compare the two sides, and those ropes and other things that are hanging in there are painted with liner brush and midnight black. And after that, a small amount of yellow ochre and burnt sienna, a very thin mixture basically, is again painted over that black line just to give it the indication of a rope. And right now we are moving towards painting our lighthouse, and I was about to say light source, but we are going to paint our lighthouse in the same manner. As you remember, it was painted in midnight black first. Now we are going to apply titanium white on top of it, and for this purpose I would suggest you to use either filbert brush and go up and down, or use the flat brush but horizontally, so that you don't make the mistakes and come out of the lines of the black color, because if you are going to make a mistake at that point, it will be very difficult to erase. It will be clear to the eyes from a very distance that you have made a mistake here. And the procedure is simple. You have to take titanium white and just go up and down, avoiding going out of the line that you have earlier painted. And after you are done with this, I would show you how it's going to look like. You can see the transition in the color of the lighthouse. The front portion is brighter than the posterior part, and you can see I have added a small amount of midnight black just to give it a grayish look. And on the bottom as well, you can see I have tried to add some highlights on the rocks with the application of titanium white. And earlier I had used a lot of colors in there, but right now I'm not going to use all of them. Here you can see I have only used titanium white with a small flat brush. I have to repeat here one thing, that the size of this brush stroke should be the size of your brush. You don't have to drag the brush down in order to paint this, else you're not going to get the effect you desire, because we have to make them some sharp rocks, sharp kind of rocks, and for that purpose we have to keep our strokes as small and as sharp as we can. On the front portion, you can see there are a lot of colors visible to you, like phthalo green and alizarin crimson. This effect shouldn't also be killed here, because this will make your painting, your rocks, very flat in color, and that is not something that we desire to create. And I really regret not making the video because I am running short of space for such a large work. But in the near future, I promise I'm going to make a small tutorial on how to paint this kind of rocks. And when you are finished with painting this kind of rocks, you have to add the highlights on the head of your lighthouse. And for this purpose, I don't think I need to explain anything in detail. You can clearly see what kind of things I have done here. I have used red color and painted 2 strips in it, and then added the window-like structures with midnight black and the black cap-like structure on the head of the lighthouse. And that semicircular thing there is from where the light comes out, and I have not painted the light though, but I have painted the source from which the light can come out just to beautify it. And those small grills are going to be painted with the liner brush, and that black and red strips, they are going to be painted with some small flat brush. And there's not something very much to explain, and this is how you can complete your lighthouse. And now it's time to add a door at the foot of the lighthouse, and you can do this with brown color and then apply some details with burnt sienna or the midnight black. And it shouldn't look something that has been forced upon the body of the lighthouse. You can paint a door, and then with a small flat brush and loaded with titanium white, you can make the strokes from the edges of the door going simultaneously backwards and upwards, and connect that to the body of the lighthouse. This is a very important step because it can ruin your perspective here. And on the rocks as well, you can see I have added those fences just to beautify. And here I have added a second ship as well because the canvas was looking some kind of empty, and that's why I have added the second ship. The procedure is same. You have to paint the second ship identically as you painted the larger one, but you have to paint it smaller because it should appear that this ship is standing a little far away from the large ship that is at the front. And you can add the sailcloth same with the black color first and the white later on, and on the ropes again that black color and white color later on, and the procedure is same. And the second thing that you have to do here after adding the second ship is you can add more amount of titanium white on the waves, on the heads of the waves, in order to make it a stormy sea or ocean. And you can do this with the same brush because you can see that sharpness in the water that is splashing, it can only be achieved if you are using an old round brush that has been withered. And here's the final picture of the painting, and thanks for all the love you have poured upon the last video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and hit that subscribe button. And you can follow me on Instagram as well, and like my page on Facebook. All the links are given in the description, and we have a small community on Instagram. We keep sharing each other's art, and that can benefit you as well. And thanks for staying with me. Thanks for watching the video.